So the quote is this, it says, "Great minds think like artists but work like accountants." There was this great author and he talked about his writing technique, and he said that, "I only write when inspiration strikes, but it strikes me at 9 o'clock every single morning." The reason you can't do deep work is you haven't got the routine. It doesn't strike at a specific time every single day where you go and do it. Because you're constantly distracting yourself, YouTube, Instagram, social media, your phone, your laptop, doing everything you can to avoid the work. Imagine what your life's going to look like in 1, 2, 3 years if you keep avoiding the work. Not very good, but what if you think about, right now, I'm going to do as much work as I can. I'm going to get everything done within 3 hours, and you get it done. If you keep doing that every single day for a year, imagine what your life looks like in a year if you never avoided doing the work. But it's hard to do that right now. And so these billion-dollar companies, they all want your attention. They're distracting you. I used to look at my phone for 3 hours every single day, looking at a piece of glass and metal. And right now, the one skill with the least supply, but the most demand, is your ability to do deep work. Everyone's attention span is ruined, so there's no supply of people that can do it. That makes it extremely valuable. So if you want my help to learn the most valuable skill in today's day and age, scroll down to the description and click the first link right now. Now, this is why you can't do deep work. There are 4 core main reasons why most people in general don't get past the shallow work tasks and get into that flow state and are able to do deep work. And the first thing is distraction overload. If you see distraction, it will distract you. And so constant notifications and social media distractions just take your mind to other places where they shouldn't be, not focus on the task at hand. Just focus on getting one thing done at a time, because if you see distraction, it will distract you. And these interruptions disrupt your flow states. If you think about it and you want to focus for one thing, and the amount of time it takes for you to switch between tasks while you're doing them takes way more time than you realize. If you think about it, there's this 2-sentence test where they get people to write one sentence out, and it'll take you maybe 2-3 seconds. But what they then get you to do is write 2 sentences at the same time. And what you will realize is it actually takes you 5 times as long to actually do that. Whereas you probably only thought it probably will only take you twice as long. It ends up taking you 5 times as long to switch between different sentences. And so if you're constantly distracting yourself with tasks, with notifications, with distractions, you're going to disrupt the work that you need to be doing. And it's going to take you 2, 3, 4 times as long as it normally would if you just get it done once. Now, when you have a goal and you're trying to work towards your goal, you have 2 different columns of things that you can do to actually achieve your goal. And there are, in the first column are tractions and the second column are distractions. And the tractions are the things that you can do that will get you closer to your goal. And the distractions are the things that hinder your progress and won't get you anywhere near your goal. And most people spend most of their time doing the distractions, doing the actions that taking themselves away from their goals, like scrolling on social media, YouTube, TikTok, aimlessly scrolling. Their life is full of distractions and they're not doing the tractions. And so what you want to be doing is you want to eliminate as many distractions as you possibly can and focus in on the tractions. Do the things that you know you need to be doing and make sure you're doing them all the time. And so that's the first reason why you can't do deep work, is you're constantly distracted and you're overloaded with these distractions. And one of the root causes of this distractions is a bad environment. You have an unstructured workspace, which makes you just get distracted easily. Like if you think about it, just imagine a horse, right? And they're going in a race, they've got those blinkers on, and the blinkers help them stay focused. They eliminate as many distractions as possible so the horse knows that they need to just run straight. That's how important the environment is. If you have an unstructured workspace, your space is just messy. You're going to see so many distractions. And when you see a distraction, it will distract you. So a poor environment will just ruin your productivity. So we want to do the opposite. We want to set up a clean environment where the workspace has no distractions, there's no phone, there's no clothes on your desk, there's no books all over the place. Everything is nice and clean, and you've got the one thing you need to be doing. You've got the traction set up, the main task you need to be doing, and you're focusing on completing that task, and you've removed all the distractions from your field of view. And now, oftentimes, we can be doing the task, but the task that we know we need to be doing takes a lot of energy. And so being able to manage our energy is super important, especially when it comes to doing deep focus work, because they did studies on chess players and analysed how much energy they actually burn during a chess match. And what they found is over 6 hours, A chess player can burn up to 6,000 calories. Now, 6,000 calories, that's 3 times what the average person actually uses in a whole day, and they're just doing that in a chess match. So when we're doing deep focus work, we're actually using a whole lot of energy. So managing our energy is super important to actually sustain our focus, because if you're going up in energy and down and crashing down and up and down and up and down, it's going to be super hard to focus. You need your energy to be at a stable level throughout your focus sessions, so your emotions can stay stable, and you can actually get into that flow state and stay in that flow state without having to think of all these random things. And so having regular breaks during your focus session will allow you to reboot your energy a bit, and getting rid of processed foods and sugars will allow you to reduce and get rid of those fluctuations in energy, because when you eat carbs, the sugar from the foods increases your energy, so it spikes a bit. But after a spike, there's always a crash and a decrease in energy, and that decrease in energy is where all the mistakes are made. It's where we're losing motivation. So we want to avoid that decrease and that crash in energy that we get from eating processed foods and sugary foods, because that's the reason you can't sit down and do deep work, because your energy is fluctuating all the time, your emotions are fluctuating all the time, so your motivation's fluctuating all the time because you're eating processed foods and sugars. Now, the last thing that is the reason you can't do deep work is because your mindset. You have negative beliefs about doing work, you don't enjoy the work, and so why would you want to be doing the work if you don't enjoy it? So you want to shift your mindset towards valuing deep work, because when you're in that flow state and you're just doing the work and you don't think about anything and you're just enjoying the moment, it's when people are the most happy. It's when I'm the most happy. It's probably when you're the most happy, when you're just not thinking about anything. So why would you not want to be getting into that flow state every single day? It enhances your commitment when you enjoy it. So start with the smallest actions and stop overthinking everything. When you want to be doing that big task, but you're scared about doing it because it takes so much emotional energy out of you, it's so scary to just confront it and start working towards it. But what if you break that big scary task down into the smallest action that you could do right now? Like if you were writing a book, most people say they want to write a book. They say that their whole lives, I'm going to write a book one day, I'm going to write a book one day. That's a big scary task to do, write a whole book, a few hundred pages. But what if you broke it down into the smallest action you could do right now? What if you just wrote a word or a sentence or even just a letter? If you start with the smallest action you could do right now, you made progress towards your goal. You got to shift your mindset. Rather than saying, I'm going to write a book, you shift your mindset to, I'm going to write a word, then I'm going to write a sentence, then I'm going to write a paragraph. You got to start with the smallest action and stop overthinking everything. Now you're probably thinking right now, well, I'm too busy to dedicate uninterrupted time to my deep work. Well, you got to prioritize time. Get rid of the distractions, the 3 hours on your phone, and spend it towards your goals. There was this famous author that talked about when does he work? And he said, I work when inspiration strikes. And inspiration strikes at 9 o'clock every single morning. Geniuses think like artists, but work like accountants, doing the same thing every single day. And when you're constantly in the work, that's when the ideas come to you. And so you got to actually sacrifice some things. Working towards your goal isn't about doing more, it's about eliminating more. Getting rid of what you don't need to be doing and start focusing on the things you need to be doing. And the reason you can't do deep work is because you're focusing on doing too many things at once. And you're giving yourself too many distractions, too many excuses not to dedicate yourself towards doing deep work. And if you tell yourself, well, I can't maintain focus for long periods of time, well, start practicing mindfulness and start building focus incrementally. If you go to the gym, you don't start lifting 100 kilos straight away. You start with 5 kilos and you gradually build yourself up to where you can lift 100 kilos. Same with focus and doing deep work. Start with doing 5 minutes, 10, 20, 30, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Gradually build yourself up to where you can do 3 hours of deep work. So your action plan for this video is to create a list, all the things that you use to distract yourself and all the things you need to do to achieve your goal. So you're going to list all your distractions and all your attractions in one column each, and then you're going to get rid of all your distractions. If you write down your phone's a distraction, then you're going to make sure and add ways to add friction to using your phone. If you're going to write down YouTube's a distraction, find some Chrome extensions to block YouTube. All the distractions, find ways you can add friction to make sure you're not using those distractions, and make sure you can make the attractions, the things you know you should be doing, make them as easy as possible to do. And you're gonna do that by fixing your environment. Eliminate your distractions. Set up a dedicated workspace where you're focusing on doing those distractions. Then you're gonna manage your energy. Schedule breaks during your deep work session. Like how athletes have halftime breaks. When you think about an athlete and they might do a 90-minute game, they have a halftime break, 45 minutes in between, where they have 15 minutes where they rest, get their energy back, and then go again. Same thing for you. When you're doing deep work, try and have rest breaks in between, and then shift your mindset, challenge your beliefs, and set realistic goals. If we look back at your mindset blocks, start with the smallest actions. If you want to write a book, start with a word. Try and break your big scary task that you're scared of doing and you're procrastinating on doing. Break it down into the smallest thing you can do right now. And if you want my help to make sure you can start doing deep work and make it a 3-hour daily habit, scroll down to the description and click the first link right now.